purpose of the landing page is to turn your traffic into subscribers who become customers. So we have talked about like the funnel in here before, and the landing page is really the beginning of the funnel to get them into your network. So once you've captured their email address, then you can start building a relationship, you start promoting products, you can start selling to them, etc., etc., etc. So there's a lot of benefits to having a landing page. And one thing I want to point out, you guys have been in this membership for a while now. You've seen plenty of experts come in, and no matter what they're talking about, Pinterest or Facebook marketing or whatever, they all talk about the importance of email marketing. So it's a very valuable tool that's going to increase your revenue. Okay, the job of the landing page is not to sell, unless it's a sales product that you're making a landing page for. But the ones we're talking about are for email freebies, also called opt ins. And so your goal is to get an email address from them in exchange for something of value. So we're not trying to sell them. We're not trying to overwhelm them with information. We're not trying to tell them about ourselves. We're just trying to give them something that's going to be a quick win for them. And if you can accomplish that, both in the product, but also in the structure and formatting and words and copy of your landing page, it's going to do well. And then you're going to eventually be able to sell to these people. Okay. On the landing page, we want to simplify it. We're going to talk about this in a little bit, but you don't want to overwhelm them with a lot of choices. You want to tell them about one thing that gets them one win, and all you want in exchange is one email address. So if you can get that done, it's going to work. Been a long time thinking about the different types of freebies that we can offer or I do offer. Um, and I'm anxious to hear what everyone else has done. So checklists in the top left. Um, I do this a lot, like think about like classroom management strategies or setting up a classroom or compiling a list of resources to build a lab or a station or a lesson, whatever. But checklists do really well. They look good and people know exactly what they're getting. They understand the value, so they download it. Cheat sheets. This is one of my favorites is because I'm a blogger. I just compile a bunch of my blogs and resources onto one page and I put images of all of them and each one is a hyperlink and I call it a cheat sheet. So it's like I have a classroom management cheat sheet. And when they download it, it's got articles, it's got research papers, it's got a link to my book, a link to my course, all that stuff, all on one PDF. Templates. So like you guys get templates from me for Canva, for um, like our cover pages or our thank you pages or whatever. You could do that for like Teresa came into our group and she showed us templates that she sells on Canva for games or for someone in our group puts together templates that are letters to go home from the counselor to go to the parents. So she sells those on her website, but you give one away for free. So you can think about like newsletters or I don't know, things like that. A mini lesson. I do this. I have some of my resources are for adding integers, and so I give away a 4-day lesson plan for adding integers. And so it's full of games, it's full of videos that it links to, it's got the Common Core standards in it and all that. And it has links to my TpT products that they can use. Samplers, you could give them a couple pages of a TpT product as a sample. So if you get like a 3-page worksheet, you can give away one page. Those work well. Posters, I do this too. I've got word walls and posters that I give away for free for email addresses. Games, any type of game that you can give away through an email would be great. It could be a video of a game, like I do that where it's just a video that teaches them how to do it. I have a video that is like a number puzzle, and so the teacher can just play it and it asks the kids the questions. Or it can be an online game or a game that they download and put in the classroom. The sky's the limit. Obviously, you could do like a quiz, a Google quiz, an exit ticket, any kind of assessment works. Planning pages, organizers, those kind of things. Swipe file. I mean, I feel like that's kind of what everything here is. But I do give away some things that I call swipe files for my TpT business, where I have 109 email subject lines that they can steal formats. We said calendars, challenges. I do this one too. I have a math challenge, and each day is one video where I challenge the teacher to do one thing in their classroom to become a better math teacher. I have 21 of them. It's a course. I give away half of them for free, and then if you want the rest, you pay a couple bucks. And then speaking of courses, you can do a course. It could be an email course or an online course. I have some courses for my math teacher business that I host on the website Thinkific, which is free, or at least it was when I did this. And so the teacher signs up for it, they get the course for free, and I have them in a automation so that once they sign up, I get their email address and then they start going through my funnels. We've talked about or you've heard about product lines. So as you're building out your product line for your TpT category, be thinking through what freebie you could give away. So I think what would be a good thing to do right now is think about what you're currently working on or what you're going to be working on next for your TpT store, and whatever that product is, what freebie could you give away for that? Do you want to do a game or a quiz or a class poster or a summary of all your articles into a cheat sheet? Or do you just want to give a sample away? I used to do learning station. Well, I do. I make learning stations for my math business, and so I just always knew that the last one thing I made for each station was like a certificate or a banner to celebrate them, and a quiz to see if they'd done. So I just that was always the freebie that I gave away. But I think that will help is if you have that in mind. Like I'm building out this product line. Once it's done, like Tori was talking about, I'll promote it. I'll build those blogs or some kind of internet content to promote that one thing. And while I'm promoting it, I'm going to give away this one freebie that's going to lead towards the product or the bundle of products that you've created. So that will help us do really well. It'll help us get emails, help us drive more traffic to that TpT product. So it's gonna like Laura was saying, double dip and help us out in two ways. Just a reminder, your freebie should be a high quality resource. It should be something that's good enough to sell all on its own, but you're not selling it. You're just giving it away because you're such a great person. But we want it to be effective. We want them to have a quick win so that they know, like, and trust you. They're like, man, Laura's stuff is really good. This, she gave it to me for free. I can't imagine what she's selling me. That must be, 10x this. And so, also giving them free stuff makes them more likely to do business with you and to trust you, all that good stuff. Okay. I know you guys know all that, but I always say sometimes I feel like I need to just say the thing that needs to be said out loud because I know I struggle with that. All the time I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just wish someone had said something so obvious to me, then I wouldn't have done that." Okay. So just a reminder, here's a list of the free things that you could do. It's not an exhaustive list, but like I said, as you're building out this next product/product line, be thinking about what your freebie will be and create that thing and make it of such high quality that someone would pay for it, but still give it away for free. In this section, we're going to talk about the different parts of a landing page. So there's the heading, the subheading, there's the copy, which it says benefits. There's the button that they click, as well as these boxes that they fill in. There's a hero image. And then there's some other things over here and at the bottom that you can do to improve your landing page. So we're just going to camp out on each of these. And of course, if you want to add something to what we talk about, feel free. But the first thing you got to do is the headline. And this is the thing I'm the worst at. So your headline needs to it needs to stand out. It needs to grab their attention. So some strategies that are known to work are by emphasizing the benefit, using you language. So you're speaking to somebody, be specific, promise a result. Maybe you've heard the expression like a big fat hairy result or something like that. And then keep it short and scannable. So I really like these examples of strong headlines. 25 classroom management tips that save you hours each week. The first week checklist that sets you up for success. So it kind of tells you what it is and then it makes a promise. They usually do that by using that word. So it's a quick exit ticket that actually shows student understanding. Okay. So I like these. Don't use weak headlines like check out my freebie or get this today, join my newsletter. These don't work. It says classroom management guide. I don't know. That one might be okay. I guess it doesn't promise a result. You do get a subheading subheadline in your landing page, at least on most of your email service providers. I think the ones everyone here mentioned, Flowdesk, Mailchimp, and ConvertKit, we do. So the subheading, you kind of wanting to paint a picture of what they're going to get. That information that Tori was talking about, that could be your subheading, but you want them to clearly understand what win they're going to have by using this. So again, I like the examples over here of strong ones. So these are the subheadings, not the headline, but it says save 5 hours a week with easy to read classroom management checklist. So you understand the benefit and you understand what you're getting in this subheadline. Plan organized, stress free lessons that keep your students engaged. Create a positive classroom environment from day one without the overwhelm. Okay, I don't know why I always stop at three, but I'm only reading the top three. Okay, the next thing you need is a hero image. Um, and the thing I struggle with hero images on landing pages is the formatting. So I like to have images with words in them because I'm a blogger and that's how you usually do blogs and YouTube covers. But when you do that, it normally messes up the formatting of the hero image on the landing page. So these aren't examples that I would say have, they have words on them, but I'm talking about like, think of a blog where it's just got a picture that says, the title in real big letters. I always want to use that, and that's not the best strategy. So a good strategy for your hero image. There's four different options they say here. One is a mock-up, and we've had some people come in and do some good trainings on this for mock-ups. But you see what it looks like. It's got like a computer, and it kind of explains what it is. Or it could be a book, a workbook, and it's just kind of talking about it. You could do preview pages like we do for our TpT image, but notice there's no header, no subheader. I think that's probably a good strategy. Real life photos, especially of the product in action. And then I don't know. This is like a branding image, so it's your business's brand. It's recommending that we incorporate that into our hero image, which is not a bad strategy. I guess that would be the fourth one. But these other ones I like better. But you want your hero image just to get their attention and to give them an idea of what they're getting into is basically what it is. We know a lot about images from the cover trainings we've done on TpT covers. It's very similar to that. But getting rid of the heading and the subheading inside the image on these is what's going to give you good bang for your buck. And like I said, that's the part I struggle with. And I do have some bad examples of mine I can show. Okay. You do want to list the benefits. Okay, we talk about this all the time in here. Features and versus benefits. And what I tell you to do, and I'll remind you, is just get out a sheet of paper, draw a line down the middle. On the left side, write the features, and then on the right side of it, lined up with each feature, list the benefit. So, like Tori said, ask the so what question. So it's editable in PowerPoint. That's a feature. So what? Well, how does that benefit the teacher? Well, it's easily customizable for your students. Okay. It includes an answer key. That's a feature. So what? Well, you spend less time grading, or, I don't know. Answer keys are kind of an obvious one, but think through the benefit for the teacher, the benefit for the student, include those. Now, on your landing page, we don't want to overwhelm. Remember, we talk about being short and clear. So just pick a couple. Don't go crazy like they've got over here. Anything else you guys want to add to on benefits? Okay, we're going to keep moving so we can get to a more interactive part. You do have a call to action, a button at the bottom, and above it are boxes. I think I have that on another slide, so I'm going to save that. But in your call to action, just the big thing is you want to make it like exciting. You want to tell them what they're doing. Don't be generic. Don't be like, learn more. Instead, say, yes, send it to me, or get the free resource, or get my checklist for free. So you want the call to action to kind of be fun and something that's easy to say yes to. Some best practices: use action words, focus on the benefit, make it large. My problem is I put a lot of words in there and then it starts to get small. So don't do that. Make it stand out with contrasting colors. Place it above the fold. Okay, above the folder, maybe you've heard the words above the scroll. So basically, especially in ConvertKit, some of the landing pages are long, and the subscribe button will be that you have to scroll to get to it. You don't want that. You want it to be at the top so that it's one of the first things they see. And then the other thing it says here is remind them that it's free and they can unsubscribe from your email list and that you're not going to spam them, but you are going to send them more great resources. I like to put that on my landing page under the subscribe button. And I'll show you. But mine says something like, we respect your right to privacy, unsubscribe anytime, but you are, I don't say but I think above it I say, you're going to be added to my email list where I'm going to send you more great resources. You can unsubscribe anytime. Okay. What is this? Opt-in for. Okay, yeah. This is what I was talking about. The buttons. Every button that you add, so you can add buttons. You can say, what grade level do you teach? What's your first name? What's your last name? Every button you add lowers your conversion rate. So I recommend you do two buttons, the first name and their email address. You start asking for last name, people are going to wig out. Whoa, why is this guy? Don't put social security number, right? That would be bad too. um, I flirted with the idea because I reach my is for lot like not just a sixth grade math teacher at middle school. It's like K to 12. I flirted with the idea of like saying, hey, what grade level do you teach? And then I can like send them appropriate emails and when I'm promoting stuff, send it to the right groups. But I've decided not to do that. And if I want to do that, I'll ask it in other emails. And though I know they're less likely to click that button and tell me later, I'm more likely to get the conversion here. So ask for less, make it very easy, and again, make it above the scroll. You want all this right there. All right. Another great strategy is to add these trust builders. So you can put reviews or like statistics and stuff that show off why it's great. Um, so, like I've seen a common one that people used to put is join 10,000 other math teachers just like you who are already using this thing in their classroom or something like that. But when you put things like that, it kind of builds confidence. It's you can do logos and badges. Not like I wouldn't do TpT, Canva, or Pinterest, but if you have, if you've been featured somewhere, if you've presented somewhere, especially if it's someplace cool, putting those logos are great. But it is a little tricky to add those into the landing pages, I will confess. All right, lastly, I think this is lastly, remove distractions. So you don't want them to be able to click on your menus at the top or at the side. Like we said earlier, we don't want them to have more than one option. It's just one thing they're getting on this one landing page. Okay, some copywriting tips. Your landing page is going to have words. Words sell. We always say words sell. So copywriting is super important. If you haven't taken our copywriting course, I strongly recommend it. It's great. But here's some tips, and I don't remember how many there are. Sorry. So write like you're talking to a teacher. We've said that. So use you, make it very personable. Speak like you're talking to your ideal person, like they're in the room with you and you're talking straight to them. Paint a picture of the pain. Okay. This is a great copywriting strategy. So you've spent hours working on your lesson plan. And so you're staying late and whatever. I don't know I can't keep going from there, but talking about all that time that they're spending writing their lesson plans is a great way to paint a picture of the pain. Painting a picture of how the students just aren't understanding how to add fractions and you've tried a million different things and nothing seems to be working and you wish there was just one great resource that was fun and easy to use or one game that engages everybody and actually helps them learn. This is how you paint a picture of the pain, and tugging on that cord is definitely going to make people more likely to use your stuff. We know as teachers the big pain points are time, money, and students not getting it. I guess classroom management is also in there. So if you can play those strings, you're going to do you're going to do well. And I was just reading over here where it says make it real, right? So all of us have been there. We know what hurts. So feel free to talk about that. And by the way, the more of these you do, the better you're going to be at talking about that pain. So if you don't have a blog, you really should start writing your blogs and just sharing some of these painful stories. And you're going to start to come up with some great stuff that you can use. And that's going to work in your TpT product descriptions, your emails, and your landing pages. Highlight the benefits. So after you paint the picture of pain, or instead of painting the picture of pain, oh, this is highlighting the benefits, but still, you could talk about the picture of success. All my students finally understood how to add fractions, and they were no longer afraid of it. And we were able to move on, and the scores went better, and classroom management issues decreased, all because of this one game. Doesn't that sound like a great game you want to play with your kids? Okay. Also highlight the benefits, which we've already spent some time talking about. But one thing I will say is when you're doing that, a great strategy is to make it skimmable by using bullets or check marks or things like that. Those are good copywriting strategies. This is a great landing page up here. The 5-day email starter kit. Here's the subheading. A nice image. I like this image a lot. It's much better than the ones I use. Tells you exactly what you'll get. Okay, it does not talk about the benefits, but that's okay. It talks about the the features. And then the button is very quick and easy. Okay, paint a picture of the solution. That's what I was just referring to, where you're talking about how great everything is once your kids have used this resource, or how great the teacher's life is once they've used this resource. All right, design tips. Now, what's nice is in our email service providers, they give us kind of pre-formatted things. And so you'll always see someone say, everyone says, make it mobile friendly. It's almost hard not to make it mobile friendly these days. All of the pre-formatted landing pages, they're mobile friendly. But it's still a great strategy to click that button and see what it looks like on mobile before you start spending too much time building it, because you might not like it the way it looks. So some other tips though, use lots of white space. See how this one is, there's a lot of white space. That's great. This has just one color really. It's contrasting. It's great. Use large font, make it easy to read. Remember, they're on a mobile, so you can't put too many words. And again, a lot of those words, like if you look at this last page, this is what it looks like on a desktop, and you see the bullets are over here, but when we flip over to mobile, they're here. So if I have too many of them, it's going to push the button below the scroll, which we don't want. So make it skimmable, use a visual hierarchy. It does say consistent branding. I'm awful at that, but that is a good strategy. Okay. Things that kill a landing page. Too many choices, weak headline, too much text. Okay, it says tiny call to action, but I would also say a weak call to action. Not highlighting the benefits, confusing messages, stock photos. Everyone tells you not to do that. I do, but it's not a good strategy. All right, asking for too much information, which we've talked about, or the freebie just being too generic. If you're trying to reach everybody, you're going to reach nobody. Make it very specific. This is for my 6th grade math teacher teaching fractions. Okay, I think I'm almost done. But people recommend, so I'm just going to share this to test things. So do one headline and then try a different one and see if the conversion rates change. Try different colors and different wordings and different images. All that is great, but to be honest, it's time consuming. And it's hard to do when you're not getting like over 100 visitors anyways. So yeah, for those of us who are leveling up, go ahead and do these things. It's great. But realistically, most of us aren't going to do these because it's too much time and it's not going to produce a big enough result to move the needle. So stick to the good strategies. All right, what happens after they sign up? Okay, this part we haven't really touched on in our group much. So after they click the button that says yes, send it to me, a page appears, right? And that page is kind of important. So what you want to do is tell them what to do and set the proper expectations. So I don't think it's a good idea to send them anywhere else. Like, hey, while you're waiting, come check out my Facebook page. I don't want that. I can tell them about the Facebook page if I get them on my email list. And if they don't go and download that freebie, they're not going to get on my email list, because your email list uses a double opt-in where they not only have to sign up, but then they have to go open that email and click confirm. Now we changed the wording in confirm to the product, but that's what they're doing, is they're double opting in. So if you're saying, hey, while you're waiting, check out this Instagram story I just did, you might lose the email subscriber for a view on your story. So don't do that. Tell them that, hey, it's coming in your email. It might be there in a minute or two. Don't forget to check your spam folder, and be sure to mark mine as safe, because I'm going to send you some more great free stuff. Okay, and that's about as much as I would put on there. They have a very cool image in this illustration and some bullets. Um, I don't know if the email service providers let you get that detailed. If they do, great. It looks beautiful. Notice there's no buttons to click because I want them to close this and go to their email. Um, but if you can't do that, just those words are enough. But remind them it's going to take a minute or two. Remind them it might not be in their inbox. They need to find it and get it right away. And by the way, that's why we send that third email in our welcome sequence. It says, "Hey, did you get this? Open it." Okay, deliver it instantly. I put this in here because when I was getting started, I got on MailChimp for free. And the free version of MailChimp back then, I don't know if it's still the case, did not allow automations. So that was a service you had to pay for. So because I was cheap, I was not delivering things instantly. So people would sign up and they get a message to be like, "Hey, when I get home sometime in the next couple of days, I'm going to send it to you." And it really might have been a couple of days because I wasn't going on every day. And I probably did my business more harm than good by doing that. So make sure that when you're delivering a freebie, they get it right away because that's the most that increases the likelihood that they're going to open it and use it. Make it very easy to access. So that email that they get when they download it, again, don't make it confusing. Don't make it long. Don't try and get them to do a million things. Just try and get them into that email and to open it. It does, if you're not delivering a freebie like a PDF, it does need to be mobile friendly. I guess even if it does, you want it to be mobile friendly, but in our niche, a lot of them are downloading something that's going onto their computer. Make sure your sender name is set up properly because we want to accustom our audience to seeing our name. So mine says Chris Skierski. There's that line, I think it's called the Pike, and then it says Rethink Math Teacher. And I want them to see that over and over again. So, however you're doing your name, first name or first and last name doesn't matter. But you do want it to be personal. And then I like to put my business name, but whatever you choose on doing, make sure you do it in this first email. All right. Also, make your subject line very obvious. Something like, "Here's your freebie," or "Here's the free 4-day lesson plan that you downloaded," etc. But I like to reference the free product in the heading to remind them because I know sometimes they're not getting it, they're not going there right away and seeing it. Okay, this we've already talked about. So we're just skimming through this, but I do want to remind you after we get their email, we send them through our 4-day welcome sequence, which we have other trainings on and you have the templates on.